Hello, greetings. We are now about to commence the coaching video 2, grading checklist and learning. Before we get into it, I kind of just want to review over the goal that Ms. Hassan and I had set earlier as it pertains to incorporating a DBQ and LEQ more regularly. Me and Ms. Hassett both continue to show mastery, and we both demonstrate content knowledge, effectively contextualize historical events. We are well organizing our lessons. Students are receiving the lessons. We have made them very rigorous, so on and so forth. And so we want to continue that main goal throughout the year. I am now going to go into the criteria 1. Coach shares a checklist for the chosen teaching strategy tool that we will be using for APUSH. And so I would like to talk about the strategy that we are using, which is called SPICE-T paragraph and chunking. This is a strategy that helps students organize ideas thematically and write more analytical and not just descriptive essays. And so step 1 in that strategy, we would call it Teach SPICE-T. And that is just an acronym for social, political interaction and with environment, cultural, economic, and technology. These are going to explain strong essay groups and ideas in these categories instead of just listing events randomly. Step 2 of the strategy is the break of prompts into categories. And so, for example, if we want to evaluate the extent in which Reconstruction changed Southern society, we would have that in a group, or we would have that in a category, and students will sort documents or outside evidence of an LEQ into those categories. Political changes, social changes, economic continuity would be examples of the break of prompt into a category. In step 3, which we will have the students to chunk the essay in a thematic paragraphs. Each paragraph will equal one SPICE category. A paragraph structure, topic, sentence, make a claim tied to the prompt. The student should also show evidence, documents, or outside knowledge in the strategy. The student should also have an analysis on how they're going to prove their argument. And for the DBQ, we're going to include sources, purpose, audience, historical situations. In step 4, we're going to add complexity. An advanced skill, we're going to teach students to show nuance by explaining both the change in continuity, connecting categories, an example, how economic limits the effect of social change, and we want to help the students with sentence stems, so using words like although, changed, etc., etc. I would also add a step 5 to this, which is a time writing and scaffolding, which is also a part of what we've been working on already as it pertains to incorporating a lot of more DBQs and LEQs into our work. The starts with support, provide categories already filled in, and give partial completed paragraphs. Then we're going to gradually remove supports until students write independently, untimed end conditions. So that is the layout for the new strategy that I want to incorporate in my classroom as well as in Ms. Hassett's classroom. And now we're going to move to criteria 2. This is where the coach prompts the teacher to modify the practice if the teacher wishes to. So I am going to allow Ms. Hassett to speak on the strategy that I just presented.
Okay, so I really like SPICE-T as a way to think about history in the different documents. One thing I would want to do to modify it is to just make an explicit connection between those categories and the AP themes that we've been given. So like technology, relating that to work exchange and technology, social, relating that to social structure, so students really see that explicit connection. And then the other thing I would like to add on is I think having students debate which of these had experienced the most change during the time frame would be a good idea. So splitting students into groups. So there's 6 of the categories, so 6 groups, a couple students per group. assigning each of the groups, you have social, you have political, come up with some evidence that proves that your category experienced the most change. And they'll have to argue that their category experienced the most change and have evidence to support that argument. So that, like Mr. Lately said, like our goal is to move students from these very descriptive essays where they can give a lot of information but they don't like make much of an argument, to being able to actually make an argument in their writing.
Okay, so we are going to, and that was a good modification that she will implement in her class. We're going to go ahead and move to criteria 3. The teacher chooses an approach to model that they would like to observe or identify, and a time to watch the modeling. So, Ms. Hassett, is there a particular model or a way you would want me to present the strategy to your class? And could you give me a time frame in which you would want me to do it?
So I think I would like for you to model the strategy in the class so I can see kind of like exactly how you are envisioning it to work. If it could happen on May 6th, that would be great. So I have, a little bit of time to take it all in and figure out how to modify my lessons.
Okay, and we're going to move to criteria 4. Coach provides modeling in one or more formats. So we clearly just heard Ms. Hassett say that she would prefer me to go into the classroom and to model it, and that is an excellent idea to do. That way she can see how I interact with her students. She can also kind of borrow some things that I may do, and she can probably implement it in the ways that she can. And I would also like for her to give a reflection on my work inside of the classroom. And so we have hit all 4 criterias for the video. I would like to give a final word I would like for her to give a final word before she leaves about the video. So is there anything you want to add, or?
I don't think so. I think this is a good strategy for teaching the DBQ in a way that makes it a little more accessible and less intimidating to students, because I know the DBQ can feel very overwhelming when they just get like 7 documents and it's like, figure it out on your own. So I think this is helpful to have them look at it this way.
Okay, so we are going to mark that down for tomorrow, May 6th. I will come into Ms. Hassett's classroom and I will implement this strategy so we can see what we can garner out of it. So thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome so very much.
Yep.
Can I end it?
Yep.